and it made the situation so much worse. He said it was unbearable. He was really poorly. As soon as I heard that, I knew we needed to get him to Kampala instead. We had a few delightful comments suggesting that the whole thing was made up and was a scam. Hi guys, and welcome back. I'm in a really funny mood today and sometimes it's actually really hard to put yourself in front of the camera, but today's video was supposed to be of the wedding Adam and I went to a couple of weeks ago and getting ready for that wedding, and it just didn't feel very appropriate to put that up considering our last video was all about Josh and his medical situation. So I decided to sit down and chat to you all again instead. So this is going to be another sort of sitting down talking video on the most part, not very aesthetic but very real, just sitting down on my bedroom floor chatting to you all. So we had a huge response to our last video and I cannot tell you how grateful we are for those of you who have sent money towards Josh's medical care and school fees for the children. People are always reaching out to us on here and on our other platforms, like, you know, wanting to help or wanting to do something nice for us in some way, and I feel like we never truly are able to like get across how grateful we truly are, because we really are. And sometimes we even have to turn it down because we get so many offers that we feel like we just shouldn't take up. Like even when we had the car accident, when so many people were saying they'd donate, you know, like not our car accident but our car was destroyed, and so many people said they'd donate towards helping us get another one, and we just decided no, it's just too much. And I know lots of people won't believe me, but I actually hate asking for help and I hate asking for money, but sometimes I just have to suck it up because it's not for me and it's not about me, so I have to, yeah. And I'm always told that people want to help, so I should, you know, like not think about maybe the negative reaction that we might get and just think about those that want to help and are always reaching out to help, that want to know what's going on and want to know when we need help so that they can help. But yeah, just wanting to explain how grateful we are, even to those of you that we turn down offers, because we're just so grateful that you're thinking of us. And even those of you who just show us support in the comments, or you respond to maybe some of the negative comments on our behalf, like, we see you too and we really appreciate it. So the kids in Uganda should be going back to school tomorrow. Well, George and Tallie, James doesn't go back yet, but obviously things aren't quite as organised as they usually would be because of everything that's going on with Josh. So I'm just trying to organise that from afar and see if we can sort that out. We are really lucky to have bizarrely there looking after the kids, but it is a lot for him. He's got all the pets as well and he's still a very young man, like it is a lot, so it's not ideal right now, but I am going to be back out there very soon. And actually I'm now really excited about going back out. I mean, don't get me wrong, I am going to be very sad when it comes to leaving here and saying bye to everybody again, but I feel very ready to go back. And when I first got here I was feeling so much guilt about coming and it was very conflicted. Most of that has gone now because I have seen how much it's actually like helped me. So I've really filled my cup back up. I didn't maybe realise that I was absolutely running on empty at the beginning of the summer, and I just feel like I'm so ready now to go and tackle lots of the things that we've got going on. And so I think I really did make the right decision in coming, and I'm glad we did. Not just for me, but for Adam as well. Right, now on to Josh. We had a few delightful comments suggesting that the whole thing was made up and was a scam. And I just want to address those because, I mean, I know the truth. Honestly, these comments don't actually get to me. I just like to prove the ridiculous accusations wrong where I can. So we do actually have some footage from the other day. Alfred managed to borrow a camera and document a little bit of what was going on. Not all of it, but a little bit here and there. I'm sure some people will claim that that's all been faked too, but that's their prerogative. Honestly, you can't please some people. I'm not out here to please people. So something I do want to say though is Josh is really quite tough, like both like physically, and he's just so like resilient. He doesn't let anything stop him, that man. Even when he's poorly, he very rarely takes an off day. He just pushes through. He might spend a couple of hours having a nap and then just gets on with it. But Alfred rang me worried himself the other day because Josh had rang him in tears because he was in so much pain, saying, Alfred, I need to go to hospital. And then Alfred said he saw Josh and he was also in tears then. And this is the man that I have never seen cry, unless you count something that happened like in the first week of knowing him, but he's changed a lot since then. I have watched him lose people close to him. I have watched so much happen, and I have not seen this man cry. He is, you know, he doesn't show emotion in that way. So for Josh to be in that much pain that he is emotional about it means it was bad. So just to update you on what's like sort of happened so far, this has actually happened, like it's been a recurring thing for a couple of years, but never bad to this extent, which is why I think he might, I don't know, it might be something that's got a lot worse now. So he has been saying that it's been not right for quite a few days, and then as I mentioned, he went to the village, and in the village he said it just got so bad, he was vomiting blood, so they rushed him to a village hospital. Now village hospitals, not so good. As soon as I heard that, I knew we needed to get him to Kampala instead, and what happened at the village hospital was, and anyone in Uganda will know this, doctors in hospitals like that like to tell you you have malaria. Whatever symptoms you present, it's malaria. Because Josh was also, you know, vomiting a lot and a lot of pain in his tummy, they said, maybe malaria, maybe you've just eaten something bad. So they started treating him for malaria, which could pull my hair out because it was so clearly not malaria. And this is where Josh said they were giving him all these other meds, and it made the situation so much worse. He said it was unbearable. He was really, really, really poorly. So that's when I reached out to you guys. And then Alfred organised a car and went and picked him up and took him to Kampala. Kampala, they then went to a big hospital. It's actually the hospital they treated Dan in. It's just quite a well-known hospital. And when he arrived, because still at a big, good international hospital, it's still not the standards you would expect, you know, somewhere like here. And the doctor that he needed to see is like one of those ones that does, like, you know, different shifts at different hospitals. So it wasn't his day at that hospital, and he was coming the next day. And Josh said, what about, can we pay him extra? Is there any way of getting him to come? They're like, no. They're like, even if you're going to die in the next 5 minutes, he's not going to come. There's no way. So you will have to book an appointment and see him the next day. So he did that. He booked to see the doctor the next day, but was severely, severely poorly and trying to decide what to do. They sent him to the emergency ward, which is then when I spoke to Josh on FaceTime.
I want to be loud, but we are waiting here at the reception to see, to consult first, then we see the doctor, then we see what next. We are waiting. Alfred has gone to check at the reception and see what is needed. Eric is also here, feeling bad for me. He's from school. He was supposed to be picked today, but he just fixed it and he phoned us here at the hospital. Someone dropped him here for us. So yeah, he's here with us.
We have come to the hospital, Josh, but we didn't find the doctors. I think I'll have tomorrow. We don't know what to do. Now we're just waiting. We don't know what the next step. We are trying to any ways of getting any treatment from this hospital. Already we are inside, but I don't have the doctor for tomorrow. And now at least we shall update later. Change of plan. Josh is not feeling well. He's feeling very, very, very bad. But now we have decided to take him for emergency, and we see where he can begin tomorrow. For that only.
So I'm also badly off.
Let me give you the doctor, quickly, just please. So you can ask some questions,
When I spoke to Josh, he let me know what the price was to stay one night in the emergency ward, and bearing in mind what treatment they were going to give him, there was nothing for like his actual symptoms. They were just planning to put him on fluids and things like that. We were concerned that we would use up any funds we do have on just fluids, where he could get that at another hospital for a considerably cheaper price, where we want that money for the specialist to actually fix what's wrong with him. So I said to Josh, if you need to stay, you know, fine, but he said no, it's all right, and he stayed nearby instead, where he could get back there if he needed to rush back. This is when the footage ends, and the next day Josh went back to the hospital to see the specialist. His name is, what's his name, Dr. Moses something or other, I've looked him up, and he's all over the internet, so he obviously must be like a good doctor. He's very educated, but weirdly his specialism seems to be, and his thing that he does the most seems to be breast cancer, which obviously is not relevant. But anyway, even the hospital said like, this is the best doctor for what you've got wrong right now, and so he saw him. But I'd really wanted to talk to him, but Josh said that the consultation went so quickly, and he like had a real feel around. Josh said it was so painful how like much he was pushing on his stomach, and that he said that he can feel a hole or something that needs fixing. This is when I need to speak to him desperately, because Adam just came in now, I've lost my train of thought. Seeing the doctor, he said, yeah, this is where I really, really want to speak to him, and I'm going to be talking to him tomorrow, because it's just, it's something that, you know, I still am not used to even after all these years in Uganda, is how much it differs to the UK. Like, so when I went to hospital a few weeks ago, and with my issues, the doctor laid out, or explained what was wrong with me, and laid out all my options, right? All the different options, explained each one, explained the downsides of each option, then gave me time to think about it or call someone and all these sorts of things, right? Where in Uganda this doesn't really happen. They don't really explain that much. They just kind of tell you what he's doing. And in my experience, and I'm not saying it's the same with every single doctor in the whole of Uganda, I'm just saying in my experience, they don't like being questioned, because then they feel that you're like undermining them, whereas here it's kind of seen as like, you know, it's all about patients wanting to know about their care and having a say, and so it's just very different. So anyway, he just told Josh it's probably ulcers, or it could be a hernia, but he has a hole that needs fixing as well, and that he'll have an endoscopy on Monday morning. He needs to fast, well, he's not eating anyway, he needs to fast, he's having an endoscopy Monday morning, he'll have blood work done and all this on Monday morning. So Josh is all booked in for that, but I really, before he actually has it, I'm going to speak to the doctor and just check everything and check exactly what procedures Josh is going to have and everything like that. So that's organised for Monday morning. In the meantime, Josh was transferred back to Ginger in a clinic in Ginger. He's been admitted there, where he's been on fluids and various medicine. He says the pain is still there, his stomach is still hurting a lot, but he has stopped vomiting. So he's relatively stable. Obviously it's not solved, and it's something that needs sorting out, because it could just get worse, but I'm, you know, pretty certain he's going to be okay. So not ideal, a lot of pain, not been nice for Josh, but he is getting the best care possible now, and a lot of it's down to you guys, so thank you. I just want to go on to this and mention quickly, and I don't want to talk too much about it because definitely not my thing to share, but we just something happened. We got a bit of news from Uganda today about a family that we know of, we don't know that well, occasionally speak to, and that family is the most similar in their sort of setup and lifestyle to us that I know. Like, there are differences, of course there are, but similar-ish. And she lost her husband this weekend, and while she's out of country visiting her family, and it's devastating and it's hit very close to home. Josh and I spent a lot of time on the phone earlier about it. I think both because, one, I'm very, very empathetic as a person, so I really feel very, very strongly on someone else's behalf, and I got very upset even though I don't know her that well. I just couldn't imagine being in that situation. But also because it's one of my biggest fears has come true for someone else in a very similar situation. And obviously Josh has been in hospital recently as well and everything, and it's all just hitting very, very close to home. And me and Josh were on the phone a lot earlier, and he just said, I just don't want to talk about this anymore. Like, it's just a bit scary, and I just feel so much for that family right now. But it has made me realise right now, despite everything having going wrong, and you know, like, things have not been great for us and we've been so stressed, it's also made me realise how lucky we are. We're still all here, we're still, you know, not amazingly healthy, but we're all going to be alright. And so yeah, it does, it makes you have some big realisations, doesn't it? Yeah, and it's made me miss Josh an awful lot. Just really can't wait to get back to him and the kids. Anyway, just to end this video, we want to just say thank you again to everyone who sent money. What is so hard, and I realise a lot of people won't like, is I am going to have to continue to ask for donations on this platform. The majority of the time it is not for me, it is for CEDA, which is a charity. And CEDA is a tiny charity where I am the only one, and I'm not earning anything from CEDA, and I am the only one raising funds. Nobody helps me. Other charities have paid teams that do this, but it's just me, and the only way I have of raising funds is using our platform to do so. So I am so lucky to have this platform, and the CEDA kids are so lucky that I have this platform, because without it I would never have been able to raise the money to educate them for all this time. We are really lucky that there are so many people on this platform that want to help children in Uganda, and I'm very aware that there are some that don't want to, or that there are some that can't. But I have to use the platform to reach out and communicate to the people who do want to, and for those who don't, like, just not pay attention to that part. Like, it's okay, like, you don't have to, there's no obligation, but I'm just using my platform because that's my way of communicating with people who do want to and reaching out to people who do want to. And it's going to happen again very soon, because I need to raise for the final term of the year for the CEDA kids that go back in a couple of weeks. I did have a few comments saying sort of like I've changed a bit on here, and I think the only way in which I know I have changed is that I've become a little bit more confident in myself, and I will stick up for myself and the things I choose and my family chooses in ways that I was never confident to do before. And I won't apologise for things, like I won't apologise for trying to raise money for these kids that need it. I won't apologise for reaching out to the people who keep asking to help us when we're in desperate need of help. And I think it's probably, the confidence is probably... Camera just ran out of battery, but I just wanted to say, like, I think, like, this, like, maybe attitude or confidence I have has come probably a bit with getting older and getting, you know, yeah, just age as you do, but also our life in Uganda has not been easy. A lot of tough situations that we've had to push through, which toughen you up a little bit and make you a bit more resilient too. And I think actually probably great, because it's made me so resilient to any negative comments we may get. They honestly don't bother me, guys. They don't. I will address them. People say ignore them. I like to address them because I like to explain how they are wrong. But yeah, otherwise it's fine. I know why we do things the way we do them. If other people don't understand that, because remember, as much as we share our life online, unless you are the one living our life with us, you'll never truly understand. Even friends and family who have a much better idea still appreciate that they will never understand in the same way, because they are not the ones there living our everyday life. And so that's always important to remember, is you might make a different, you might see it differently or have a different opinion if you are actually in our shoes. Anyway, again, I have gone on and on today for someone who said they didn't even want to film today. But we just want to say thank you again to those of you who have supported our family or supported CEDA. And Josh and I are very aware that we are not perfect, but we're just trying our best. Anyway, the next video will probably be the wedding video, just because it's already filmed and it's just waiting to go up. And when I do have more updates in terms of Josh and what's going on medically, I will obviously update you with those too, but it's not going to be too long now. while and we will be back to Uganda content. Thank you all again, and we will see you in the next video.